Hello and welcome to my next video. This is going to be the first video in a series looking at PvP builds that are pretty easy to sort of use. They tend to be the cheese builds, so when they say cheese they don't require much skill. You know, it does benefit to have some skill to them. So the first one, the annoying, really frustrating to play against engineer turret build. The idea of the engineer turret guy is to control the points by putting turrets that are very heavily armed and very hard to, you know, eliminate all of them. They cause knockbacks, which mean obviously you're stunned for a little bit. We have the rifle, so let's have a look at the rifle. The main skills you've obviously got the immobilize with the net shot, just a standard sort of hip shot. The blunderbuss, which does bleeding, and then this main one, the overcharge shot. This is, you know, it really does block and push back enemies. It gives you a lot of control over a point. Just to give you a look at the let's look at the PvP build. On the rifle, the chance to remove a condition, because obviously with engineer we don't really have much condition removal, and the chance to inflict chill, which obviously slows down a lot of your enemy's skills. We have the rune of Melandru that's, you know, helping to reduce the condition and stunning and giving us that extra toughness, making us very hard to eliminate. Our health there is 25,000. We've got the soldier's amulet, obviously giving us more toughness, vitality, that power for the turrets. If we look at the trait lines, we have 20660. Number 2, we have obviously create a bomb when you dodge, you know, so helping you evade and cause more damage. We have the turrets explode when they get destroyed, again causing more knockback. You know, you could go for something else, but I find with this build you want to control the point by using you know, using CC to force players back off the point, and to keep yourself alive, and while they're being knocked down it gives you that extra few seconds just to recover. So we go into the inventions line, toughness and healing. We get obviously regeneration when we go below 25%. Reduces the damage dealt to turrets, so it's giving turrets a little bit more survivability. I don't think there's really anything else you could take instead. We've got then all heal skills recharge when you get struck beneath 25%. So obviously if you use turret and then use the healing burst, if you hit below 25% you get another chance to heal yourself. We go with turrets are self-repairing. This is a crucial skill for those players that are condition heavy. They find it very difficult to take out turrets. You know, because if the turrets keep repairing themselves, and obviously there's less damage being taken to turrets, it's very difficult to quickly take out a turret if you're a condition damage player. Then we get gain power based on my healing, so obviously with the healing being maxed, my power is going to be increased. And then there's the option, you've got two options really. Fortified turrets are what some players go for. For 4 seconds they get reflective shields, which if you drop a supply crate, all the turrets get a reflective shield. It can be very, very useful. I personally prefer the more damage and the longer attack range, because while I set up the turrets, the players coming towards me, they're getting damaged and I'm not even taking any damage whilst my turrets are firing away. We then have the alchemy line. We get drink elixir B when you're struck below the health threshold. Gives you a bit of fury, might, retaliation, you know, swiftness, all helping power and evasion. Protection when I'm knocked down, which obviously if you get knocked back with your overcharge shot, you get sort of the you know, you get the protection. There isn't really much else you'd really want to take there. You don't need condition damage or anything else. We then have income conditions have a chance to convert to boons, so 100% chance to convert to boons, which is pretty cool. Again, this is actually still in the trait 1 line, because there isn't really much in the trait 2 that you want to take for this build. because you don't have any kits, you don't really use any elixirs or flamethrower, and so you really want to take the acidic coating, so you have a chance to blind enemies with melee attacks that strike us with melee attacks. So that, you know, thieves, warriors, guardians, they can get blinded for 3.25 seconds, which is quite substantial. It just helps you a bit more when that, you know, if you're staying on that point, to stay there longer because enemies are going to be blinded. Deal extra damage for each boon on you, and that ties in nicely to the final trait, which is experimental turrets. Now, turrets supply boons to allies all around them. So, for example, if I have 4 turrets up, I'm getting 4 boons, and so that increases an extra 4% my damage. You know, if I'm just standing next to my turrets. So yeah. That is the turret, everything about the turret build. What I'll do now, I will just have a bit of gameplay of me demonstrating, hopefully, a little bit successfully, how to compete. If you look at this, Engineer is my favourite. I don't tend to go with the turret build. I prefer a condition damage Engineer. However, at the moment, it seems to be a very popular build. And I just hate playing against engineers, the turret build. There are ways to counter it. Warriors and guardians that pop stability, they're not going to get those knockbacks. Necros, if they really focus the condition damage, or a power necro can really take you down, you know, if they pop lit form. However, they are still weak defensively. Other than that, the best way to eliminate your turrets would be a Zerka Staff Ellie. Particularly if you're, for example, if you're sitting on a point, they can just pop a, you know, meteor storm, nuke out all your turrets, and then you're going to be a bit defenseless. So there are a few counters to it, but there are very few Zerka Staff Ellies in the game that run PvP, primarily because they are very squishy and they're very easy to take out. Anyway, I hope you're going to enjoy some of the footage in the background of me playing some PvP, and this series is going to look at some of these builds. It's for those builds that, you know, for players that have struggled on a particular profession. I've done all the professions. I've won 150 matches. I've almost won 200 matches in ranked arena on every profession, so I have some idea of what I'm talking about. I don't claim to be the best PvP player. You know, when we did the recent PvP leaderboard, I was in the top 50, but I didn't really have a ratio greater, you know, it wasn't too great, just over 50%. So I'm just giving advice for those people that have struggled with a particular profession, or for those that are fairly new to PvP. This build will really help you establish. I don't think that there's an easier profession to get started with and an easier build. Engineer is a very good build and a very good profession to start off with. Thanks very much for watching. Any comments, any feedback, feel free to leave it, and I'll catch you on the next video.
Stillness has appeared. You control the gate.